Hello and welcome to another episode of Tier List. Today, I'm going to use Tier Maker website and Tanks GG website to complete each other in making a Tier 2 tier list. There are exactly 50 tanks including gifted and premium ones. Starting very rough with the TDs, the Soviet, the British and the German TDs stand the highest for being the most competitive ones because they have good guns or good aim. The middle class TDs lack of alpha damage or of mobility. Finally, FTAC and the sweet TDs are complete bullcrap because of their massive lack of statistics that makes them inexistent in terms of competitivity. Talking about the tech tree French clown tanks, the D1, the R35, the H35 and the FCM36, they are all going to the same spot, to the yellow category, because even they are very solid as you can see. They are all very slow and need assistance in the battle, which is not always there. Although, the two new gifted French tanks are not too bad, but I give them the same spot, because they traded their mobility for atrocious armor and the DPM is still not good enough. The effectiveness of these solid little tanks only come to work when the enemies aren't using gold, or if they have auto-loading guns, which is situational. Talking about auto-loading gun tanks, I would most of them as great, but you need to know that all of them have worse penetration than regular cannons. Both the gifted and the tech tree Swede tanks, the gifted T1E6 and the Panzer I tanks are the worst among them all. These are simply nothing good to talk about. Taking for example the Swede, his HP and mobility are impressive, but the penetration of its premium AP shells is terrible. The T60 has not that problem and is great if it is equipped with auto-loading gun and loaded with APCR. It is simply amazing. Its only weakness is that he can't pull out big damage with a single magazine. The exact same can be said about the gifted Panzer II and the TKS-20. You can see it coming. The Panzer II is just as good as the T60 if played correctly with APCR, but I'm putting it higher on the list because Panzer II has more armor on his turret and is capable of amazing carry. Its weakness occurs to be its lack of mobility and again low alpha single magazine damage. The British gifted tank like VIC, the T7 combat car and the American T2 light have more ammunition stored in their magazine, but have penetration issues, which balances them to be on the same spot as the Panzer II. Now talking about not so good tanks, which are the slow gifted T45, the MKA, the Panzer 35T, the Tetrarch, the British Medium II, the gifted Teke, Japanese Hago, China, and the Italian light tank L6/40 are just not very competitive for their disbalanced statistics between being very slow and having not so good armor, or in other hand being fast with a bad aiming gun. All the following tanks are good at aiming and at shooting from distance, which goes to the advanced category: the premium tank Panzer 38H, BT2, T26, Polish 70P, and the cruisers. The cruisers are all tower ranked higher because they have another great machine, the auto-loading pom-pom guns that you have probably know about, which are overpowered. Moving on to the British or American models, which are the British M2 and the American M2 light tanks. I find them both very good. Both have tremendous amount of millimeters of armor on their fronts and have impressive damage per minute. They are both very fast as well. Their weaknesses are wear side armor and low HP. Bonus fact, the American one has a powerful auto-loading gun that can one-clip any tank of the same tier, which makes it more flexible in battle. Now let's take a look at the derp gun tanks, which are the Igo/Chiro and the M14/41, which are Japanese and Italian medium tanks. If you like to fire HE shells and accept the immobility of these, you should buy them as fast as you can. Both of them are capable of sniping and derping. I personally load more heat shells to beat up the solid French tanks and to deal with the T2 light tank. You can have a lot of fun and grow your WN8 by playing them. They are simply the most unique tier 2 tanks. The remaining tanks, which are the Czechoslovakian LT-35 and the Chinese VAE Type B, are also very special. The first one is actually here because I made a mistake since the beginning. I mistook this piece of crap for its tier 3, which is one of my favorite, but the Chinese VAE Type B is my actual favorite tank. It has an auto-loading gun with cruisers pom-pom style. The VAE Type B has 4 shells in its magazine and can clip someone to death with only 1 magazine. It has great penetration, but fairly poor aim. I personally enjoy it on Himmelsdorf map because you can unload the shells and hide right back behind a wall. You can outtrade HP with almost every other tank. Its main weaknesses are the mobility and its weak armor. Happy 2020 and good luck on the battlefield. All links are in the description.